Today marks 1282nd day sharing lessons I learned and continue to learn with all of you. My hope that these insights will inspire you, support your dreams, help you achieve your goals, and really empower you to become the person that you want to become. Today I speak about feedback. And the most important question is, who is the right person to get feedback from? Who is the right person? This is a very, very important topic. Because I think that a lot of times we ask for advice, we ask for feedback from people who are not right for us. They can give feedback, they can, but is they right for us? I think that is the question. I mean that we are not able to improve and move to our direction, our vision, our goals, our dreams because we asking for advice or feedback from the wrong people. Now, the one big mistake is that a lot of times we ask advice from people that we care about, or we know that those people care about us. But that is not the right person. It might be that they could be if they qualify to be right person, but in general, a lot of times, majority of times, they are not qualified to give advice that you're working on towards your vision. So be careful what you're asking advice or feedback from. So today we'll share four people that we're supposed to ask advice from. So number one is aligned observer. So aligned observer is the person who has high context and low bias. High context and low bias. That means what we need to understand that we need to understand that those people that will give feedback on us, they need to understand who we are, how we operate, understand how we acted in different situations, so they have high context of our question. Because I think a lot of times we want to ask for a feedback from a person who is not knowing us. Maybe achieve very great success, but their feedback will not be high context because they just not know about us. So it could be give advice, general advice, but general advice a lot of times it doesn't work, or work and not in the highest level. So when we ask for feedback, we need to understand that we need a person who has a lot of experience with this and they have no bias or low bias whatsoever. Because of course we want to make sure that this person knows that this feedback will be helpful. And I think that a lot of times those people who knows a lot about us, high context, they are able to start to see the patterns that we do not see. So those kind of people are able to pinpoint our blind spots, and that those are the people that are very essential because they have high context and low bias, and that leads to the all see and give that feedback based on data, not on assumptions. But I think that when we share too little and person doesn't have that high context, could give that feedback based on assumptions, not the data. And of course, if you implement that kind of feedback, it will not gonna work. So I think that we need to understand that if someone is close doesn't mean that they have a clarity. So that means we need to understand that we need to really find a person who really have the clarity that we need. Number two, second person that we're supposed to get the feedback from is the clear-eyed challenger. Clear-eyed challenger. That means that high candor and low attachment. I think that those are the great people. It means that those people who really are able to challenge people. And I think that there's not a lot of people who are able to be really kind candor. That they said that velvet helmet. They smash in it, but with a softness. Because those are very, very important people as well. Because if you don't have challenger and kindness at the same time, I think that we could lead to wrong directions. And I think that those kind of challenges push you into the level, into identity that you expand, to stretch, because we need sometimes that energy, that push to expand ourselves. And those challenges are for that. But they coming from the kind perspective. They want to really help you to break from your echo chamber. And then they challenge you not because just to challenge you. They challenge you because they see your potential. So they see their potential, so it means that they have the clarity necessary to see that what's possible, to see that you have the willingness, you have desire, you're willing to take the steps and actions to get to a new level. So that means that they're willing to push you because they know that you're able to handle that. And I think that that is again very, very important. And they're not I think that those are the best people, that they're able to challenge you and not afraid to lose you. Because if they challenge you and you give up and you're afraid of that person who challenge, who push you to that person, because some people that will feel very uncomfortable when someone else pushing them to be the best version of them, and they don't have attachment. They just said that I will do for you what is best for you. If you do not like, you will walk away. And that's this those kind of people are amazing when they said that I will be around with you only when you're working towards the best version of you. If you're not willing to work for the best version of you, that means that we're not here together because I want the best for you. And if you do not want the best for you, maybe we're not great together. So make sure that the person who you speak with, they have the challenge comes from the vision, not bitterness. So that again, these challenges are coming from the vision. The challenge to pursue your vision, not challenges because, of course, you want to put rocks in your road. The third person that we need to ask advice from and feedback is the respectful mirror. Our high empathy and high awareness. Those are essential people. And again, high empathy is not enough. We need to have high awareness. And I think that we need to understand that they will understand if you're actually living based on your values because they will be aware of themselves and they will be aware of you. So they will say you something, you want something, and then they're able to look at you. Are you actually living by those values? And again, those are a little bit challenging as well because you need to really have that compassion, but at the same time, giving that awareness to a person that needs it. So high empathy, and again, those people are really help to pivot, change the paths, course correct, and really with that confidence because they have that massive awareness. You trust that their awareness allows you to transfer to your awareness, to your clarity, and that's a lot of times we need to borrow clarity, borrow awareness, and those kind of people around you are essential. So we say, I don't have empathy, I don't have clarity. So who are around me who has massive empathy, who has massive awareness, and go and ask for feedback, how to be better, how to really remove those blind spots that I could really move um towards the direction that they need to go. And I think that we need to really find a person who really are very wise, who is able to reflect, who is able to listen, listen, and then sometimes it's just the person who has a massive empathy. They just by listening and not saying any advice could really give a massive clarity for you as well. So like feedback artists could be just listening alone, but in a listening in the right way, because listening sometimes is asking a right question. Listen, asking the right question, listen, ask the right question. So those kind of people who are able to ask the right question, deeper question, are the best people to learn from. And all not supportive questions, not all supportive people are really good because sometimes empathy without insight is just comfort. Empathy without insight is comfort. And sometimes we don't need comfort. We've been living in the comfort for so long. What we need is a challenge. We need some awareness where we're at, and we need to really realize that something is not working and something needs to change. And those people who have massive awareness could bring awareness to really what needs to be changed. And the last person that we need to, the right person to ask the feedback from, is the qualified critic. So that means high competence and high standards. So those people are the experts, those people who have achieved significant success in something. So they have high competence and they have high standards for themselves and for others. So those are amazing people to ask because we, I love it, say that my standard is so high that your standard will be lower. But you really need to live by those standards and really look into like where you at and ask for a very successful person what kind of standards they would have in your position, what they do. Now this person might not have high context, but we need to have those kind of people as well who could really stretch all your imagination, but because it might be that they bring things that you never thought about because they have massive competence. And a lot of times they planting the seeds that will grow because you will need to build understanding about some things. So they give feedback based in mastery. So that's rooted mastery, and those are very important. And they have been living that mastery for a long time. So we able to really ask any kind of question, and it really helps to understand as well. And I think that we need to always find a person who walked the way where we want to go. That's probably one of the most important person that we need to have. And again, those all four people supposed to be in your circle, helping all the single time. Because if you have just one, of course, I think that will lacking always something. And I think that for this kind of person, we're not supposed to confuse confidence with credibility, because we need to actually look into actions, results, because actions and results is proves something. Because a lot of times the words are very loud, but actions, when you're able to look into it, speaks much louder. So when you think about those four people, so that means, as I said, that every single person need to have all four people. So a aligned observer, clear-eyed challenger, respectful mirror, and qualified critic. So that means when we have all those people, we're able to ask for feedback, and every single person is supposed to take about 25% plus minus of your time, of your feedback, so you can be a well-rounded person, understanding your clarity, understanding your vision, understanding yourself, understanding your beliefs, understanding your values, understand your improve your and stretch your meditation, so you can really move in life faster. Because a lot of times people think that they need one person that could help them to achieve everything, but that's not true. I think that every single person needs to have in one field multiple mentors, so they could really stretch themselves, understand themselves, and really achieve the levels that they never dreamed about. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.